You are tuned into Plática de Práctica, a podcast for teachers, by teachers in visual and performing arts classrooms. Our guests will share insights, their challenges and triumphs, along with tips and tricks to navigate the contemporary creative classroom. I am your host, Renee Palomares, a resource teacher for the Albuquerque Public Schools Fine Arts Department. We are coming to you from the beautiful Albuquerque Museum, located in historic Old Town Albuquerque, New Mexico. Welcome to Plática de Práctica. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Plática de Práctica. On this episode, we welcome Dale Simpkins, who joins the podcast to speak about his unique experience as a resource and theater teacher. Dale shares his inspiration for teaching and who knew he plays such a great vampire. If you're watching this episode, you will see the artwork of the great Georgia O'Keeffe titled Gray Cross with Blue, which is part of the permanent collection in Albuquerque Museum's Gallery 4. Please enjoy this episode. So we'll just start with your letter, so whenever you're comfortable, and then then we'll jump into the episode.
Great. All right. Dear Mrs. Stein, thank you for the legacy that you have created. Having you as my drama teacher in high school and as my mentor in my early career allowed me the opportunity to have a path to follow as I tried to find my own way. Teachers like you forged a trail and demonstrated what it means to be a good teacher. Following this path has allowed me to have the confidence to take chances in my teaching. It has also allowed me to stand strong and work to provide all students every opportunity to become the best them possible. I know that I am only where I am today because I had such a good role model early on. The students that I have reached, the performances that I have helped to create, and the advances in theater education that I have helped to push have been built upon the foundation that you created in your career. In high school, I always knew that when I walked into room J10 at Manzano, that there was going to be a safe space ready for me. I would be able to take chances, experience new things, and sometimes epically fail, and it would all be okay. I tried daily to recreate that safe space for my students. Though I believe in many ways the world today is very different from the world that I was growing up in, I still see many similarities too. You always set high expectations and believed fully that your students would meet them. Your dedication made us want to meet those expectations. I have the same expectations and dedication for my students. As I watch the next generation of energetic young teachers come into the field, I hope that I can support them and motivate them the same way that you helped to support and motivate me early in my career. I hope that someday somebody will look at the support that I gave them and appreciate it as much as the support and inspiration that you gave me. Dale.
Thank you for sharing that. And you mentioned your name at the end there, but do you want to give us a full introduction of who you are and where you teach and what you teach?
I'm Dale Simpkins. I'm the theater teacher at Hoover Middle School. This is my 16th year there. I also serve as one of the district drama resource teachers, going on year 3 supporting drama teachers.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're in a very unique position because I think you still have access to the classroom. And before we started recording, I was mentioning not spending as much time and building in-depth relationships with students. So I think that's really important. And I think you bring that vision and that understanding of the classroom, especially the current classroom, and then you bring it into the work with a resource role, I guess we could say. And so you said 14th year at
16th
year at Hoover. And have you taught anywhere else?
I taught 1 year prior to that at James Monroe. So it's year 17 for me total.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's been good about teaching for so long?
It's different every year. Seeing the growth, seeing the changes, watching students go from being these kind of very immature, childish 6th graders and becoming much more independent by the time they even reach 8th graders.
Yeah.
And then I'm blessed to get to work closely with the high school that I feed into at El Dorado and watch those students continue to grow as they go through the El Dorado program and through graduation in high school.
Yeah, we were chatting about middle school and what a unique world that is, I think, to work in. But as you said, though, I think there's so much growth with students, especially from year to year. Yeah. I mean, just even physically, they change. There's some of the boys, you start seeing their little mustaches coming in 8th grade, and it's always interesting. Yeah, there's so much maturity, I think, that's gained from 6th through 8th grade. And yeah, that's awesome. And do you still have like opportunities then to connect with like the Aldo kids with that were in your program?
I do. I work very closely still with El Dorado, seeing the plays. My own children are students at El Dorado in their theater program right now. So I still have a strong connection to a lot of those students who went through the Hoover program and have just blossomed significantly at El Dorado.
And why theater? What pulled you into like that world?
So the really honest answer is I'm not completely certain anymore. I started taking theater my freshman year at Manzano, and I really feel that there's a really good chance that it might have just simply been that my two older brothers, neither one of them took theater. And I didn't want to do anything that they had done. So I think that I signed up for it and I got in there and I realized that it was meant to be. And that is my space. That is where I can be me. And I don't worry about other things. And I get to take chances and be different from anything else.
That's awesome. I think that you had the awareness to say, I want to try something that my siblings either haven't yet, or what do you attribute that to? Do you feel like you had supportive parents? Do you feel like there was like, I don't know, like community members that said, hey, you should look into this program or whatever?
So I definitely had very supportive parents. My parents have always been right there to support me in anything that I wanted to do, anything that I needed. Up to this day, they're still right there in my, behind me, pushing, helping with anything that I need. I know that my grandma, back when she was alive, when I was young, she always called me her movie star. And I think that there must have been something about my personality very young that made a lot of people say, okay, you're going to go into performing of some kind. And I think that was a big thing for various people in my family, just saying, hey, this is probably where you're going to go.
I love that, because my maternal grandmother would save the comics from the newspaper, and she would collect them. And when she'd have a small stack, she would give them to me. And she'd call them the funnies, right? So she said, she would call me Chacho. No one calls me Chacho. She was the only one that could call me that. And to this day, like when she passed, like that name went with her because she didn't want anybody calling me that. So she would tell me, Chacho, I have your funnies for you over there, or go get them. And she would like feed them to me. And I feel like that was a huge push as to why I create the art that I create now. It's very graphic. It's very like cartoony at times, but so as you said that, like I'm remembering my grandma and like her efforts, I think they see something, there's that wisdom or that knowledge that, you know what, they have something that can be offered in this realm or whatever the case may be. So that's awesome. Yeah. And then I guess, with that, like middle school, I think theater has to be challenging in the sense that, like, production wise, like, how do you do it? Like, how are you able to wrangle everybody and get anything done?
Well, I'm very fortunate to have an extremely supportive administration. They make or break a theater program with their willingness to support you, and the theater doesn't fit in the educational box. We don't. We're not like, when you look at, okay, well, this is what you're supposed to do in a classroom. We don't fit that mold usually. And when you have an administrator who not only says, okay, you do you, but encourages and pushes and says, yes, go big, go strong, then it really helps you be allowed to do it. Yeah. I also have supportive community. I've got my lead volunteer has been working with me for 8 years. And she was my student. And then when she became a high schooler, she would come back and help run drama club and be an assistant stage manager. And now she's my assistant director for the show. And literally, I'll be the director, she'll be the assistant director. And we had one time I was walking to rehearsal and one of the actors came up to me and said, Mr. Simpkins, I can't be at rehearsal today. Do you think Mercedes is going to be mad? I said, I don't think she's going to be mad, but I'm the director. But that's the respect that they had for her and how much she brings to it, and just the power that the community can bring to help with those things, because it's a big undertaking, especially for middle schoolers. And we usually have 40 to 50 kids in our productions. So it can become a whole lot really quickly.
That's awesome. A couple of things pop up as you're speaking about that. That's awesome to offer a young person that opportunity to gain that experience and give back to their community and stay connected. And then the second thing, a question popped up was, what's the production right now that you're working on? Or like, what are you guys doing in class right now?
So we actually just finished our first big production. We staged a play called Order Up last week. That's another way that I connect with El Dorado is they let us come perform on their stage.
Awesome.
Because we have a small stage in our class. It's about 20 feet wide, 10 feet deep or so. But it doesn't give us much audience space, and it's not tall like a theater. It doesn't give you that real experience. So Mr. Raison and the El Dorado Thespians and the El Dorado administration have for years been very accommodating and welcoming. And so just last week we went and we performed our one-act play there. That was my advanced theater skills class. Awesome. And so they got the full experience of putting on a play in that setting. And we're getting ready to start now with a Fractured Fairy Tales unit, which we're going to be touring to hopefully 3 elementary schools.
Awesome.
That feed into our program to show them kind of what theater is cool. and bring it to them. And so that's something we've done for a few years now with one school, and we're working to expand that and make that bigger right now.
That's awesome that you have that understanding of like feeder patterns and what it takes, I think, to expose, right, even the younger generations to maybe something they may be interested in. And I mean, it kind of goes along the same lines with like the opportunities for Mercedes, right? If they're never exposed to these things, they'll never know like what they don't or do like. And yeah, that's great. What are the 3 schools then that you're thinking of?
We're confirmed with Mitchell Elementary.
Okay.
We've made contact with Oñate.
Okay.
And they're excited. I got to reach back out to them, and then we're trying to get in with Matheson Park still also. Okay. And try to get all 3 of those schools.
Do you ever film your productions at all?
We do when we can buy the rights.
Okay.
Sometimes we can get the rights. Sometimes they won't sell us the rights.
Yeah.
So yeah, we usually set it up. I buy the rights so that I can film it and give to the families because they want video of their kids.
Yeah.
But I want them to sit and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
So we usually set up a couple of cameras and record it if we get the rights.
Yeah, my daughter does a couple of she's done theater classes for several years now at Albuquerque Little Theater, and yeah, it's always interesting their performances, or even like for her dance performances, they'll say like, "Oh, don't film it," or "We're filming," or whatever. And so yeah, that's awesome. If the rights should be easily accessible, that's what I think. So like, if you had a dream performance, like what's something you envision? Like what, I'm curious, like, and I don't know if we can specifically say because of the rights, but like, what's like a dream play that you would want to do? Do you have any crazy ideas?
Yeah, I don't usually have like a play in mind that I want to try to shoehorn into my cast.
Yeah.
I usually, each year I look at who do I have, and then I read plays and I find the play that matches who I have. Okay. So the dream play is the one that gives every student in the program an awesome role to bring something to life.
That's awesome. Okay. That's cool.
My approach, and I say this a lot, is always give the students opportunities to be amazing and then get out of the way so they can do it.
I love that.
And that's what I try to do. I try to open up all sorts of opportunities. We performed last week. Yeah. We're going to tour to elementary schools. We bring in the spring, we bring the kindergartners from John Baker Elementary right next door to Hoover to us, and we do children's theater. We do an annual school play where we do the drama festivals. I want to give these kids every opportunity possible to perform and be amazing and take chances.
That's awesome. We were just at a really awesome talk at Albuquerque High around film, and there were people in the film industry that are here from Hollywood and involved with like the whole Netflix scene and everything. And so, yeah, I mean, the opportunities are there. And I think with teachers like you, there's going to be that bridge and that natural like growth and just like, yeah, that belief that, I come from where I come from, but I have these opportunities and I can be whatever I put my mind to. And so I think, yeah, it's a really good time, I think, for the arts. I think, again, with teachers like you in the district, like it's going to be amazing what some of these kids get to do. Yeah. So awesome. We do have our segment that we jump into with everybody, and we ask our pop quiz questions. So we're going to jump into that now with you. Right. And then, and then we'll have some fun after that.
I love it.
All right. So first question is, where do you find inspiration, motivation, or the drive to be an educator?
Student growth. Watching students grow revitalizes me every year. Seeing what they can do.
Awesome. Question number 2. What is a tip or trick you can share with other teachers when working with English language learners?
Act it out. Theater is awesome for English language learners. Act it out. The action is universal.
Mm-hmm.
An ounce of behavior is worth a pound of words, was said by Sanford Meisner. It's an absolute, awesome. It's just an imperative truth.
Yeah. Repeat that for us. I want people that to stick. Yeah.
Ounce of behavior is worth a pound of words.
Ounce of behavior. That's awesome. All right. Question number 3. What is a tip or trick you can share with other teachers when working with students that have an individualized education plan?
Know the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And if it helps a student with a disability, it'll help a student without a disability. Do it for everybody.
Yeah. I love that. That was exactly what I did in my classroom. Is any modification was a modification for the whole school, whole class, everything. Like anybody that walked in my room. And the perfect example is we had students from our IGS program in one of my classes, and I brought out these scissors, and they're these loop scissors that don't necessarily have like your traditional like handle and holes. It's just like a plastic loop that you can kind of squeeze and they open and close. And I personally love those scissors. It's just more fun to use them. So I started using them, and I had a student ask, well, why are you using those scissors? I was like, well, try them. They're fun. And then next thing you know, like I just left when we needed scissors, there was a bucket full of those scissors and regular scissors. And yeah, next thing I look around the classroom, people are using the loop scissors and the other ones are just sitting there. And so even that, like just normalizing that these modifications like are for everyone, and like they don't have to single out a student or whatever. And I love that. That's awesome.
There's no reason to make a student who needs a modification feel like they need a modification. It should just be the way the class runs.
Yeah. And I'm a firm believer that when we serve the most vulnerable in our communities, everybody's going to win, and everybody can take part in like those modifications and yeah, normalize like that's the real world. We're all to some degree special ed. Like, you know, we all have learning differences. Patrick and I were talking about me being colorblind as we're setting up the set today, because I had no idea what color like I was putting on the wall back here. And I took a guess and I think I got it right. So yeah. Our next question was what's been a highlight project or activity that you're most proud of?
One of the things I'm most proud of is my work to create the full year theater classes at middle school. For years, middle school, the students could take like 9 weeks in the wheel in 6th grade. They could take a semester drama 1 and a semester drama 2. That's not a full program. That's not on par with the other performing arts. And so about 4 years ago, I worked with my site admin, my site instructional council, the curriculum board, and the fine arts department to develop 3 full year courses of theater skills for middle school. And now a lot of schools in the district are able to offer students a full program of theater.
That's awesome. How long ago was that?
It was kind of a long process to get it rolling because there was some confusion as to how to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm in my 4th year with beginning theater skills. So it was 4 to 5 years ago that we got it done.
Okay. Awesome. Let's see. My next question was, who has been a student that has made you a better educator?
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I go back to my own son. I was very fortunate to have both of my sons as students in my class, and it opened my eyes to student need, how to communicate with the families, how to make sure that the students are well-rounded, because I actually got to see it from both sides.
Mm-hmm. That makes me think of when my daughter was born. And I feel like I became the best educator once I had a daughter or a child, because then, yes, that's somebody's Like in my case, that's somebody's Ava. That's somebody's like, and it made me cherish my students way more. I cared about them, but the care became way different when I had my own daughter, because I knew eventually like I'd be handing her off to a teacher and hoping, right?
Yeah.
And there were times that students would ask, "Oh, why did you like bring us like a snack today or whatever?" And it's like, because I hope that like when my daughter's your guys' age, that she's able to have a teacher that for just whatever reason saw that they were hungry, gave them a snack, or knew that they'd been saying they get hungry in 7th period or whatever. And like little things like that. I think, so I totally, that resonates a lot.
There's some excellent teachers out there that don't have kids, but I know that they also grow if they choose to have kids of their own too.
Yeah. Yeah. The next question was, what advice would you give your younger teacher self?
Breathe. It'll be okay. You will get through it. You will learn. Everybody's going to be all right, and you're going to have some amazing experiences from it.
Yeah. So this is the game we're going to play with you today. We'll call it Uber, Hey Uber. And I'm going to be your Uber driver. And so we're going to choose a character or like characteristics of a character. And then we're going to just play along. We'll play along for the length of your ride. So if you want to choose one of those, and do not show me. And I'm going to go off camera and let Patrick choose one for me. And then you're going to hand it to me, Patrick. All right, we're going to step off. Okay. And we're going to jump into characters. So I'll hop in the car and then I will pick you up, Dale. All right. Uber for Dale?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Oh, good thing you have 2 legs. You ready?
Yes.
Make sure you put your seatbelt on, please. Thank you. Oh, man. I've noticed a lot of spiders around. You seen any spiders so far?
I don't believe I've noticed any, no.
Oh, whoa. Did you see that dog? There's just something about creatures with more than 2 legs. That's strange.
Yes, they're quite interesting creatures, aren't they? They're nowhere near as tasty. I mean, interesting.
Ah, man.
As those with 2 legs.
Okay, so where exactly are you headed?
There's a fantastic literature convention that I'll be headed to. Lots of very tasty people, interesting people there.
Okay. So it seems like I don't think it doesn't seem like there's anything.
You're not bleeding, are you?
I hope not. I mean, I have been scratching a lot. These spiders, they just seem to be everywhere. I don't know about. Maybe it's something in the weather. I get bringing them into Albuquerque.
Yes, must be.
All right, sir. Well, thank you. We're here.
Yes. Quite all right there.
All right. Do we want to share our characteristics? All right. I'll go first. So, my character was bit by a spider and are now always itchy while being afraid of anything with more than 2 legs.
That's very detailed. Mine was English teacher by day, vampire by night.
Okay. And I want to give a shout out to Shelly, who's also a resource teacher with us. She helped with coming up with these characters. So thanks, Shelly. Hello, Earthling. Are you new here as well or what?
Yeah, I'm pretty new.
Okay. Do you like enchiladas here on this planet or what?
Enchiladas are spicy. They're too hot.
But it's good. Chili is good. Don't you think?
No, dino nuggets.
Okay, I guess that's cool. I guess. Or what?
You talk funny.
I'm New Mexican. We always say, or what? Do you not say or what? Or what?
I don't think so.
How old are you?
This many.
Or what? Okay.
It's really far down there, though. It's weird.
Far down where?
From here to there. It's not usually that high.
Oh. Are you 5? Or
Yes.
what?
5.
I don't talk to people that are or less. So I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Peace out, homie. We decided to make games that are unique to the teachers that we are interviewing. So this one was obviously more acting based. So I'm trying to test my chops in every regard. I've played an instrument so far this season, one that I'm very good at and proud of. And so yeah, we chose to do like an acting game with you. And let's see. So the first go around, your character was
English teacher by day, vampire by night.
Okay. And then my character was he was bit by a spider and is now always itchy while being afraid of anything with more than 2 legs. And then the second go around, you were
Kindergartner trapped in this adult body.
and then I was a Martian spending their first day on Earth, but somehow has adjusted to the New Mexican culture quite nicely. We want to thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. It's great to have your perspective and your understanding of what it is to be an educator. And for me, the theater world it's getting a little more familiar with my daughter now, but I'm a visual artist, so it's always nice hearing more about a world that I don't fully know about. So thanks.
For sure. It's been wonderful being here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Plática de Práctica. Plática de Práctica is brought to you by the support of Albuquerque Public Schools Fine Arts Department, APS Education Foundation, and Albuquerque Museum. Plática de Práctica is recorded, mixed, and edited by Patrick Bear. It is produced and hosted by me, Renee Palomares. We appreciate you listening. Take care. Until next time.